Okay then guys, what is going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, where we've had new figures arrive, and Jedi Survivor may be one of the biggest file downloads ever for a single game, especially one that has got no DLCs attached. This is bonkers and we're going to dive on into it. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. And with that being said, let's dive on into it. So as we are all extremely eager to dive into Star Wars Jedi Survivor, myself included, there does seem to be something that you guys need to prepare for, and that is clearing out your bloody hard drive, no matter what platform you're downloading it on. As of right now, we have had a whole new array of numbers that have been reported, and according to new figures, Jedi Survivor may be one of the biggest file downloads ever for a single game, especially one for a game without any additional modes or any DLCs attached, and we're going to show you guys some comparisons in just a minute. Now, according to an article reported by Forbes, which is reported by Paul Tassi, a very good creator on the scene, whether it's YouTube or article writing, this is absolutely incredible. He reports that the file size for PlayStation 5 is 147.57 gigabytes. For Xbox Series X, we are at 139.08 gigabytes, and the reported size for PC is at 155 gigabytes. That is absolutely redonkulous, and it is huge. This for a file size for a single game with no DLCs attached, no extra modes, no nothing, is absolutely ginormous. So this just gets me a little bit more excited, although a little bit more confused. But when we look at the Xbox Series S, the only thing that you can see shrink when you download it for the Xbox Series S is just the fact that it's only 44 gigabytes somehow. The game does not come into PS4 or Xbox One of only few major recent releases to fully leave the last generation behind. But this is absolutely mental, and I've got no idea what other game you can compare it to for the same size comparison. This is ginormous, and somehow they're managing to shrink it to a third in the size for the Xbox Series S, which again makes no sense to me at all as to why we can't do that for the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So no matter what you're downloading it on, you're looking at a minimum of 140 gigabytes of memory that you are going to need. But what can you compare these games to? How big is this genuinely going to be? This is where it gets mentally confusing, just because when we look at some other games, such as the grand total of the Ark Survival Evolved is at 400 gigabytes, but that's with apparently a metric ton of expansions all installed. Now, this has got zero expansions, zero DLCs attached. There is absolutely nothing. This is just the base game to Jedi Survivor being at 150. So we're already looking at about a third of the size of Ark Survival, and this is absolutely bonkers. This is the final product of Ark Survival, I may add. Even if we look at Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it's a whopping 235 gigabytes, but that also includes the whole of Warzone, as well as the multiplayer and the storyline and everything else entailed. And yet we are only 100 gigabytes less for this game. We're getting a bit closer to it now though, but we've got Borderlands 3 Director's Cut is 135 gigabytes, so almost identical, if not a tiny little bit smaller than the Xbox Series X download. And Borderlands 3 has a beautiful amount of 4 campaign DLC packs featuring new stories, missions, and challenges. This is just absolutely mad. There's 4 DLCs in that, and this is exactly what we're looking at for Jedi Survivor. So we're looking at the same size as Borderlands 3 after it's finished all of its DLCs and comparable extras. That is absolutely mental. It's just going to be huge. But is it going to be huge for the right reasons? I don't really know how this is going to come across, but this may well be the biggest downloaded single game you've ever bloody installed on anything you've got. This is mad. This for me is a little bit worrying, a little bit concerning as to why it's taken so much, but we're going to have to see how that works. Even when we look at the console sizes, you're going to have to delete most things on your console. So obviously it's not well equipped on the PS5 to keep handling sizes of games like this, but the PS5 for instance has a 1 terabyte SSD, but only 667 gigabytes of that is usable space after obviously the main UI, meaning that the game for Jedi Survivor would be close to, if not roundabouts, a quarter of that just on its own. This is mad. that we obviously have games switching in and out, but downloads are now becoming bigger and bigger, and people's internet connections are not always as good as we kind of hope that they will always be. But as these games get bigger, the consoles do not, and neither do the internet speeds. So we've always only got about 3 or 4 games on each console now. This is just nuts, but I'm really excited nonetheless for this game. I just want to know why it's so big and what it is that we were expected to see inside of it come the launch date itself. That being said though, if we get any DLC into this, we're going to be taking up around half of the space of the main SSD to this bloody console. Let alone you PC users. I hope you got a load of externals going. This was just a quick talk about the file size of the game, and that's all you're getting from me today. If you haven't already, smash the beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.